Hi, this is Janice. We're here in London, our first night, in Stoke, Newington Green, and we've had dinner with friends of Judy McLaughlin's in Lexington, and we've been talking about social justice issues and women's rights and people's rights. So I'm going to give the video to the people around the table. We've had a lovely meal cooked by Colette, and this is her husband, Fred. He'll begin. And, yeah, here you go.
We're all sitting on Newington Green,
okay,
where Mary Wollstonecraft grew up. She had a school here on the Green, and she wrote her book, The Vindication of the Rights of Women. So Women's Lib, for all you female members of the church, started right here on this green in London.
In London, and what year was that? Was that set in the 17th?
French Revolution, 1789 was the French Revolution, so round about that time.
And
right.
Just down the street, just down the block is the Unitarian Universalist Church with...
3 doors along is the Unitarian Church, which was built in 1728 and had as its minister back shortly after it started Richard Price, who's a very, very famous scientist, mathematician, and above all, he was the father of actuarial tables. And also, a few doors along from that, we have the former Bishop's Palace, which was the home of Henry VIII. Everybody knows he had 6 wives, but he kept 6 mistresses here on the Green. So he had a very active life in some respects. And then just round the corner from that, still on the Green, we have the oldest terraced houses in London, which were built in 1658. In fact, exactly the year that Oliver Cromwell died.
Oh. Fred, and what is your opinion about women priests in the church and what's happening in the Roman Catholic Church?
I don't have any opinions on women priests. Women are the same as men. You just have priests, full stop.
Okay.
Whether they're men or women is irrelevant. It doesn't strike me as being a qualification or disqualification for the job. It's like when I go to get my hair cut, I don't need to know whether my hairdresser is gay, bisexual, or whatever else. I go there because he does a specific job that I'm interested in, and that's all your minister, priest, rabbi has to do, right? And they can be male, female, black, white, whatever you like.
Okay.
So long as it brings you comfort and solace. That's what it's all about.
Okay, thank you. Want to pass that on to Heather?
Heather.
Slowly.
Hello. What can I tell you about?
What, London then?
About London? Well, actually this area really interests me because apart from that background that Fred was just giving you, well actually Mary Wollstonecraft is a literary figure from here, but there are many others. It's an area of London that seem to attract great thinkers and dissenters. Actually, it's got a history of dissenters, but certainly people writing that, even if it was novels, they kind of had a social purpose. Daniel Defoe is really connected with this area. He lived here. Charles Dickens spent a good amount of time here. Who else? Edgar Allan Poe went to school here.
Mary Shelley?
Yeah, Mary Shelley, who was obviously the daughter of Mary Wollstonecraft. She grew up in a building right next door to where we are and apparently wrote Frankenstein just in this immediate area. There's many, many poets. One that I studied when I was at university, Anna Letitia Barbauld. There's a road named after her in this area. Very interesting these are all sort of worth checking out. All these people, and this is where I live in this area, and it really, I find that very interesting. That's so, and I think it's still attracting a lot of artists here. I think this is what there's lots of people that work in sort of TV and radio. A lot of media personalities are attracted to this area as well. So it's still a bit of a hive of exciting talk and ideas. So definitely well worth a visit. Very suitable for you ladies pitching up here. I almost feel like you've been sent here. There's a purpose. There's a purpose in you coming here, and it's been really lovely to meet you as well. Fascinating discussions we've already had, even before dinner started. So I'll pass on.
Thank you.
And this is a lovely place to have dinner, our first night. So I think I'm just going to show you this beautiful, beautiful house. How old is the house?
Several hundred years old.
Several
from
hundred
1700s.
years. So I'm going to just let you see what we're surrounded by here at the table. Beautiful candlelight room of a paneled room.
And this goes back to the 1700s.
This house was built about 1700.
Yes.
Colette, did it used to, underneath the house, I think there used to be, there's some big arches you can still see in the cellar there, and some horse-drawn carriages would actually come in under the house, wouldn't they? It's possibly an inn. I think it was an inn in years gone by. And a hunting lodge. It might even have been a hunting lodge. I think there was some...
Yeah.
You know, because obviously we're in the middle of the city now, but this would have been quite a rural area surrounding.
Wow. Okay.
So.
And Dorothy Irvin is with us at this dinner, and I'm going to let her talk.
We're surprised to find ourselves successfully in London after long and turbulent flights.
Yes.
and lack of sleep.
Yes.
But we're enjoying a terrific dinner with our friends here. And I want to tell you what the reason is that we decided to come. We're here for the 100th anniversary of St. John's International Alliance. And this group was formed in 1911, so we have good reason to be proud that it's still around and still working for the equality of women in church, state, and society. Now, will this show what our... Here's our...
Emblem. Logo?
I think they'll get a backward image, won't they? Yeah. Like a mirror image?
Yes, I think so.
I'm afraid so. Okay, but you see the dates there. St. John's International Alliance, which has survived for 100 years working for women's equality, is now a non-government organization at the United Nations. And on Saturday, we'll be reporting back to you what the centenary celebration here in London was like.
Yes. Thank you, Dorothy.
Hi, I'm Colette, and we're sitting in my small place here.
Wonderful place.
Yes, to get back to the history of Newington Green, and with the American connection with all our American friends here now, we had Thomas Jefferson visited here. Who else?
Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin. And Robert Adams. They all visited the Unitarian Church because they were great friends with Richard Price. Richard Price was a great supporter of the American Revolution and actually assisted in writing the Declaration of Independence with them. He was invited by the Americans to go over there to live because they wanted him to join the government, but he was tied up here and didn't go. So it's a long history and a very interesting one, and we're still going strong.
And what are your thoughts about women priests and what's happening with the ordination of women and people seeking justice for women and others in the church?
I think the church has always been very pro-male and very biased against women, and it's wonderful to see that women are actually now standing up for themselves and demanding that they have a right to participate in the running of the church as much as the males do. But I think the males feel very threatened by this, so It could be a long, hard walk, but it's something that should have happened a long, long time ago. And perhaps this is the time for it to happen, that they need to acknowledge that women have equal